Welcome to Catherine's tutorial. In this video, we'll learn about sex-linked inheritance. Sex-linked diseases are inheritance. In human, there are 23 pairs of chromosomes. The first 22 pairs of chromosomes are known as autosome, and the 23rd pair of chromosome is known as sex chromosome, which differentiate male from the female. Okay, so there are 23 pairs. Among these 3 pairs, the 22 pairs of chromosomes are known as autosomes, and the 23rd pair of chromosome is known as allosome or sex chromosome. These allosomes or sex chromosomes are nothing but XX in case of female and XY in case of male. If the female has, the female has 2X chromosome, so she is known as homogametic sex. Homogametic sex. The male has 2 chromosomes, that is X and Y. They are known as hetero. So these two are totally different. So they produce different type of gamete. That is why they are known as heterogametic sex. When these genes carry the genetic disorders from one generation to the next generation, that is said to be sex-linked inheritance. These genes are also known as sex-linked genes. These are known as sex-linked genes, and if they carry genetic disorder, it is known as sex-linked inheritance. Okay, and we all know X chromosome is large when compared to the Y chromosome. Y is small when compared to the X chromosome. This X chromosome has around 1000 genes, and Y chromosome has only 60 functional genes. 60 functional genes. It carries more gene, that is when compared to the Y chromosome, so they carry most of the genetic diseases. The most of genetic diseases are carried by the X chromosome. So those type of genetic diseases are known as X-linked diseases. Or if the genetic diseases are carried by only Y chromosome alone, that is known as Hollandric genes. When Y chromosome alone carries the genetic disease from one generation to the next generation, then it is said to be Hollandric genes. Okay. If it is carried by the X chromosome, it is said to be X-linked diseases. If it is carried by the Y chromosome, is known as Y-linked diseases or Hollandric genes. Okay. And there is one common example where we can able to find hypertrichosis, the best example for Hollandric genes. Okay, or Y-linked disease. So now we'll learn about X-linked diseases, that is especially recessive. In a recessive state, these X chromosome will cause disease. So the first disease what you're going to learn is about hemophilia. Hemophilia is also known as bleeder's disease. It is also known as bleeder's disease. And this was given with the other name also. It is commonly known as royal disease. Why it is known as royal disease? Because it was found or identified in Queen Victoria's generation. Okay, that is why it is named as royal disease. Bleeders means these individuals, even when they have minor injury, the bleeding will not stop. Okay, and otherwise it results in death of that particular individual. That is why it is known as bleeder's disease. This disease is caused by X-linked recessive gene. What is the meaning of X-linked recessive gene? If the X chromosome in its recessive state only will cause the disease known as hemophilia. It is not going to cause the disease in dominant state. The X chromosome in its recessive form, they will cause the disease known as hemophilia. And this disease was identified in the year 1803 by John Conrad Cotto. He only identified this disease. There are 3 different types of hemophilia. Hemophilia A, hemophilia B, hemophilia C. So what are these A, B and C? Hemophilia A is due to the clotting factor 8 and this hemophilia B is due to clotting factor 9. This hemophilia C is due to clotting factor 11. What are these clotting factors? Where we can able to find them? These clotting factors are present in your bloodstream. There are nearly 13 clotting factors are present inside the bloodstream that will help the individual to stop further bleeding during the case of injury. Okay, so what happens here, when the individual is deficient of this particular factor, okay, that results in hemophilia A, and hemophilia B, when this particular factor is less or deficient, it results in hemophilia B. If this factor is deficient, that is factor number 11 is deficient, that results in hemophilia C. Okay, now we'll just see like where are these clotting factors are formed from. They are formed from the liver or they are synthesized from the liver. When there is a deficiency of all these three clotting factors, it results in hemophilia A, B and C. You know what is the normal clotting time in case of human being? When there is an injury, okay, within how many minutes the blood should clot, okay. The bleeding will vary if the injury is very severe, but what is the normal clotting time is nothing but it is 2 to 8 minutes. Within 2 to 8 minutes, the bleeding from the individual will be stopped by means of these clotting factors. This 8th factor is nothing but it is known as anti-hemophilic factor. Anti-hemophilic factor. This 9th factor is thromboplastin. Same only, it is plasma thromboplastin. These clotting factors are present in the blood plasma and they help in clotting of your blood when there is any injury. But in this case, when these group of individuals are affected by the disorder, eventually the bleeding will not stop even after the minor injury. It results in death of the individual. This disease is more common in male when compared to the female. Males are mostly affected when compared to the female because female have 2X chromosome, male have X and Y chromosome. When they inherit one of the X chromosome from the carrier mother also, they can able to express the disease. But in case of female, even if she inherits one of the chromosome from the mother, that is H, we will write as H here, and the other X chromosome she will receive from the father. If the father is normal, the female child is going to be a carrier of this particular disease, and this hemophilia will exhibit crisscross pattern. What is the meaning of crisscross pattern? It is nothing but from the mother it goes to the son. From the father the daughter will inherit. So this type of inheritance is known as crisscross inheritance or crisscross pattern of inheritance, where the male, that is F1 offspring, son will obtain the genes or obtain the disease from the mother, the daughter will obtain this from the father. Okay, so this is how it exhibits crisscross pattern. We'll go with the first case. If an hemophilic man marries a normal woman. Okay, so here we'll write the hemophilic man, X and Y chromosome in male, XX in female. We just represent as hemophilia with a small h, and here the female is normal. Okay, and he will produce two type of gametes. One will contain the diseased chromosome, the other one will be normal Y, and female will produce two set of gamete which is same, that is why they are known as homogametic sex. Imagine if this X chromosome fertilizes this one, the female will receive one of the hemophilic chromosome. Even though if she inherits the hemophilic chromosome, this offspring will become the carrier. This female will not express the disease. Okay, and here if he receives a normal X from the women and Y from the male, then he will be the normal one. The sons will be normal because they receive one of the X chromosome from the mother and one Y chromosome from the father. They will become normal. But the female who receives the X chromosome from the father will inherit. She will inherit the X chromosome from the father and one of the X chromosomes she will receive from the mother. One X chromosome is normal, so that she will become an heterozygous individual for this disease. She will become the carrier of this disease. Now we will go over the second case. If this carrier female marries a normal man, okay, so the carrier female, which is represented as capital X, here we will write XY for the male, here is normal, okay, and she is the carrier of the disease. That is, we are obtaining the F1 generation individual from here, so we are making a cross, okay, and here if she is a carrier again, so we will just mention with small h, she will produce two type of gamete, one will be normal and other one be the diseased one, or which carries the hemophilic gene, and here it will produce a normal X chromosome and normal Y chromosome. And if these two X chromosome are joined, that will result, the female will receive one of the X chromosome, that is F2 generation. The female child will receive one X chromosome from the mother and one X chromosome from the father. So she will be inheriting a normal gene, so she will become normal. So the female is normal. And one of the X chromosome, the son, he receives from the mother and one Y chromosome from the father, where he can able to find one of the X chromosome contains the disease gene, the other chromosome is normal. Y doesn't have anything to do with this kind of interaction. So what happens here? The son will exhibit or will be affected by the disease. So affected male in case of F2 generation. So in case of F2 generation, if a carrier female marries a normal man, so what happens here? The F2 individual, that is their generation, where the female will become normal and the male will become the affected one. So in most of the cases, the male will be affected by the X-linked disorders because they receive only one X chromosome. The Y chromosome is not responsible for any diseases, or it is not going to suppress this X also. So what happens here? Only one gene here will be expressed in case of male, but in case of female, one of the X chromosome will become dominant to this form, so where they can able to suppress the diseases or where they become the carrier of the disease. That is why the female will not be expressing this type of disorder in most of the cases, and in a very severe cases, the female will express this disease. Another case where the carrier woman marries the hemophilic man. He is affected by hemophilia, where we mention it as this H, okay, he is affected one. So I will write here, he is an hemophilic individual, hemophilic, and she is a carrier woman. She will produce one X here and one X here, and again Y chromosome. An easier way to find the gametes also, we will write Punnett square also, X, XH, XH, Y. We will write the gametes. X chromosome, one will be carrying the gene. Here, both the chromosomes are carrying the disease gene. Here again, normal XY. Here. So based on this, we can able to come to a conclusion that she will become the carrier female. And this is affected female. Female will be affected by the disease. And here normal male, here affected male. So this is what will happen when a carrier female of this particular disease marries an hemophilic man. The daughters and sons, okay, so they will be obtaining 4 different type of offspring where they produce normal male and also a carrier female and one affected female and one affected male. Okay, this 50-50 of chances of producing these type of individual when a carrier woman marries an hemophilic man. Here, when a hemophilic woman marries a normal male, we will write the genes here. Hemophilic women, she will have both HH and normal male Y. So she will produce both the chromosome with a diseased condition, and here it is Y. So we'll draw a Punnett square where you can able to identify easily. Here it will be X, XH, X, XH, XHY, XHY. The males will be hemophilic. They will be affected by the disease. And the female will become the carrier. Because it is only one gene which carries the disease causing factor, the other X chromosome will dominate this one where they will become the carrier, or they are known as heterozygous to this disease. They will not express the disease. So it happens in case of female, the males are affected by the disease and the female will become the carrier. Okay. So by the next video, we'll learn about the next X-linked recessive disorder, color blindness in detail. Thank you.